Picture this. 2019, nestled in the misty mountains of China, I found myself living in a Shaolin temple with monks surrounding me. Why, you're asking? To unlock the ancient secrets of discipline. And what I learned there changed everything. Before this journey, I was probably just like you. I was going through my daily tasks and trying to figure out what I want out of life. But something was totally missing. And the real thing that was missing, that I woke up, I would go to do my studies, I would go think about my business, but I never really had that achievement, the sense of fulfillment that I always wanted to feel in my life. And do not misunderstand me, I was a hustler even back then. At this time, I was studying Mandarin in a Chinese university by a scholarship that I received from the Chinese government, which just by itself is kind of mind-blowing if I think back about it. But what I realized, that anything that I'm going for would never fulfill me until I visited one of the temples nearby my university, just to realize that the monks had something that I was looking for, the unwavering discipline and the lack of overthinking that I thought was happiness. So I had this crazy idea that if they already have what I want to be surrounded by them. First of all, it would be really good for my Chinese studies because Mandarin is not an easy language to learn and I needed someone to practice it daily. And second of all, I was looking for that happiness, or more like a discipline in my life that would teach me how to create a life that I was always imagining living. This is when the idea came to me to find one of the most ancient temples in the mountains of China and move in with the monks to understand where this discipline is coming from. It was not an easy decision to actually leave everything behind and go in there for weeks without electronics or without a lot of outside noise, but what I learned there really changed my life. And you know how we're always looking for happiness and fulfillment, but what made me realize in the temple that the same principles that made the temple run so smoothly without actually having a profit, because the temples are not generating profit, they're sustaining themselves, is the same principle that makes my life run smoothly and my business run smoothly. And it all comes down to discipline. Now let me explain. When it comes to discipline in my daily life, what I found is discipline equals habits in my personal life. So when I wake up in the morning and I do not look at my phone, and then I go get some sunlight to make sure that my body understands that I'm awake and it's a new day, then I go sip on my coffee and do my workout. That little habit, morning routine in the morning, sets me up for the day. And that is just one little discipline that I took away from the temple for my personal life. But the most important part that I actually took away is the discipline in business. And the discipline in business, in my opinion, comes down to systems. So while discipline in personal life equals habits, discipline in business equals systems. And let me tell you, one of the most interesting findings for me in business using this discipline that I learned from the monks when it comes to systems is, for example, creating content. I'm in the content and monetization business. We help business owners and content creators, consultants, freelancers grow their entire business and monetize their content with video content. But myself was always stuck not creating enough video, even though I'm preaching about it. And one of the hurtful realization for me, that I didn't have a hard time creating these videos because I can sit down by my pool in my villa and talk to the camera for hours if I need to. But the real problem was that I did not have the systems or the discipline for the production of the video. So when I think about creating a YouTube video that you're watching right now, it's not just me sitting down and telling you a story of how I moved into the Buddhist Shaolin temple and what I learned, but actually taking this raw footage, creating the whole storyboard, and then editing it, and then understanding what animations to use and what B-rolls to use and how to make it into an edited, produced video. Now, that's what I had to understand, that's where the discipline comes in, that if I do not want to do this, no matter how disciplined I am, it will always be a drag. It will not come naturally. So what I did is build a system for it. As soon as I go ahead and upload this video to the Google Drive or to the folder that we're working with on the cloud, my content director is going to take it, dissect it into sections, puts a very well crafted storyline together so it all makes sense, and then goes ahead, writes out the editing document for our editors, and the editors go chop up the video, create the animations. Meanwhile, my thumbnail designer and title creator gets notified about the video so he can watch the video, create the thumbnails, create the titles and the captions, and suddenly within 2 or 3 days, I will see a very well produced YouTube video being posted on my YouTube channel. Now, before I had this system, this process preceded 2 weeks of procrastination, and it slowed down my business. And if this is something that's familiar in your business, that you know you should be creating content, whether it's short form or long form, but you're lacking systems, you exactly understand what I'm talking about. It might be hard to understand, but living with the monks made me realize that every day when they wake up at 5:30 to go to the first chanting at 6 a.m., just to have breakfast at 8 a.m. after that, and then lining up and the abbot giving the tasks for all the monks and the volunteers in the temple, created a discipline for the temple, or a habit that basically kept the entire temple running. Why? Because every day there were some non-negotiables that need to be done for everyone, but every individual's, person's, monk's task added up to run the whole operation smoothly. And that's exactly what I'm recreating in my business and in the businesses of my clients, that there are the daily disciplines that we have to be doing, but sometimes we're lacking, or sometimes you don't feel like doing one of them. But if you have the system to get every single part of those done, then you will never have problem having a little bit more or a little bit less discipline, because it's habitual inside the business. It's systemized inside the business. And basically, this is how they were able to run a multiple hundred participant Shaolin temple with thousands of people coming to visit and pray in the temple, because every single person had one part in the whole system that they were disciplined enough to do that day. And that did not have to be a huge part. And that's what us entrepreneurs tend to do, that we underestimate the amount of time that it takes something to do, because we all want to take it on ourselves and we have a hard time delegating tasks to others, or build a system that automatically delegates and tasks our team to get that desired outcome done. Some of my personal tasks in the temple included being the security guard, talking to people coming into the temple, being in the kitchen, getting the vegetables ready for everybody else to be able to eat, or sometimes being the guy that cleans out the ashes from all the incense that the visitors put into these holders. And it really made me realize that even the shitty jobs have to be done, but if they're done in a continuous, systemized manner, it doesn't feel as shitty. And it basically takes that little discipline out if it's turned into a habit or a system. So integrating discipline both in the personal and business life is what really made me fulfilled and helped me run my businesses and my personal life almost on autopilot without having that burst of stress coming to me, because I know that the system is taking care of everything. And that's basically wrapping up this story of what I learned from the monks, how to use discipline to your advantage, whether you're running a temple, whether you're running your online business or any type of business, or whether you're trying to become a better person in your personal life. And the real question here is that, are you ready to embrace that discipline and create those habits and systems in your personal life and business? All I can tell you is start today, build those habits, build those discipline, and make sure to build those systems. If this video was helpful for you, leave me a comment, ask me a question, or tell me your experience when it comes to systems and discipline. And if you want to help me grow my channel, make sure to subscribe or share this video with someone that might not be as disciplined as they should be. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.